video for the chat room and everybody else. I'm going to start on this one. This is just going to be a TA video. I know we talked about it recently. We're trying to get some stuff out for you guys so that you guys can figure out some plays for yourself and kind of look at charts. So for the people that are in the swing room, I definitely do. I go through most of the picks. I kind of message you guys privately or give you my opinion right there on kind of what I see. I'm just going to go through. This is one of the easiest charts to kind of break down. I'll kind of go through each one. So most people use RSI. So I'll just kind of switch over to RSI. RSI. Most people use MACD. And I'm just going to go through this real quick and then just kind of go through it. And then we'll pick ADX. So I'll kind of go through each indicator and kind of go through it. So RSI is the relative strength indicator. What this actually means is it's just a measure of if the stock is being overbought or oversold. Overbought means it's over 70. Oversold means it drops below 30. It deals with the inflow and outflow of people trying to buy the stock. Then you have MACD. MACD is your moving average divergence or convergence divergence. So this, obviously, you can see your moving averages are starting to converge. You see that the MACD is converging. You have a positive divergence, which is bullish, and then you have a convergence, and then a divergence. And once this black line breaks below, you see there's a cross, and this becomes negative. So you'll get what is known as a positive to negative MACD cross. This kind of diverges for a while, and then it converges again, and then it breaks, and the black line breaks. So here you would say this is a negative to positive MACD cross. And when you look at the chart, kind of just about here, following this lineup, you get that negative, follow it, positive, negative, follow it, positive, break. So you can see how this could be a good indicator to use. Then you have ADX going here. So ADX is a momentum indicator, saying if there's been a lot of negative or positive momentum recently. So you can with a ticker that has positive momentum, it moves easier than a ticker that has no momentum. So I'm a science guy, so think of inertia. Has a little bit of inertia, is not going to move as far as fast. It has a lot of inertia, it's going to continue just to bulldoze. So you see that a lot when like Tesla gets on these big runs. The ADX is just way through the roof. Even here. So here you see the breakout of the ADX coming above the black line. The black line is kind of the negative. You get the red. So the red line is negative momentum, and then the green line is positive momentum, and this is kind of the average of the two. So you can follow that. So the red took over here, whatever, and then you're gonna start to see this curl up. So you're gonna see this curl, and as this curl, it's gonna follow that up. So I like to use the indicators that I do. Use a simple moving average of 8 days. Use 21-day moving average, the 50-day moving average. Sometimes I use the 200-day moving average if it matters. For here, HTBX, we're doing this. Let's see. We're doing this on October 31st. We're doing this on October 31st. So you have the 8-day moving average at 117, the 21-day moving average at 123, the 50-day moving average at 124. Now, what this means is, so in the past 8 days, that average price of this has been 117. The last 21 days, it's been 123. In the last 50 days, it's been 124. So whenever you get the shorter term moving average moving over the longer term moving average, you get a bullish break, or it's a bullish measure, because it's saying in the last 8 days it's outperformed the longer term moving average. So you'll see on here I have the 8 day. Yeah, you got the 8 day moving average popping up above the 21-day moving average, and you get a little bit of a pop. You won't really see it too much on this one, but you'll see it a little bit more on DSS. Over here, you'll definitely see it. So here you have the 8 day moving average, pops above the 21-day moving average. Look how much this flies. I mean, you're talking about $3 pop on that. That was a nice quick in and out on that one. I talked about that uh, mm, last Sunday, I think it was. Yeah, I talked about it last Sunday because they got the news on the prior Friday, 2 Fridays ago. So we're going to go back to HDBX. Like I said, this is a really nice chart to just kind of go through. It's really easy to kind of pick off things. So I'm looking at, so people, one of the things that people have difficulties with is finding floors. So you can use this program on stock charts to go through floors. So you can actually just set it to auto support resistance line. So I can kind of just click really wherever I want. I know I'm making it look crazy, but so anything above this price here, yeah, it's hitting resistance. Only on this day was it hitting a support here. Then there was support down here as well. I'm gonna clean some of these up. The whole point is you can use this line as a way of telling where upcoming resistances are and where previous supports are. So one of the things here, you can follow this line up and down here. So you can say below here. So this would be the master support. So right there would be the master support. This is where the absolute support for the stock is, so at 57 cents. Hopefully it never goes there. But then one of the other long-term heavy supports on it is 73 cents. And then another support would be here at $1. And then you have another support here at $1.09. Okay? So you can kind of see, just by moving and playing with this, you can kind of see where the support levels are. So that's when people talk about floors and stuff like that. That's what they're referring to. So now I want to go through and kind of just show you what I've been looking at on here on this chart. So what I've been following here is this moving average, or this long uptrend that it's had recently. Just kind of following the candles and sticking this line on as much bottoms of candles as I can. The more candles that you can connect to better, the more, the stronger the trend that you see. So everyone's going to see something different here. You can stick the candle here and kind of follow it up. You can stick the candle down there. It's only really what you see. But this has been a long support. So why can I say this? Because look, it bounced below this, and then the next day it carried over, and it bounced below it. And most of the trading, because the body of the candle was done above this line, the bodies show where the most of the trading was done. So the wicks are just small little volumes of trading. So whenever what you want to see is you want to see it test below the support, and then the body of the candle be stuck above the support. That's always a really strong thing to kind of do. So some of these things, some of these charts, like you can have some people and you see that they kind of cut through bodies of candles like that. It's fine to cut through a few if it's a lot of other candles that it's sticking and following support with, to kind of establish a trend. So and even here you have the bottom of the candle touching the trend line. So it's honestly really been trading in this trend, and I'm definitely drawing it backwards. But in this, it's been a long time where it's just kind of been trading sideways. So It went all the way down, fell, hit the support, came back up, worked its way up. Uh, then it traded sideways for a while, hit the top of this channel, went to the bottom, hit the top of this channel, went to the bottom, hit the top of this channel. And what you call this little action here is coiling. So it's just like a snake. It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller as it gets to the peak here. So what we have it here, all the moving average converging, and you can see that the stock closed at $1.20 on Friday. What I was really looking forward, what I was looking forward to close at $1 25, 26, 27 area. Why does that matter? Because I'm pulling these off, but you can see this candle that held. So this candle is really good because it tells you that it tested that line below. It tested the line below. It almost broke that trend line, which would have been really bad. But it wound up holding the trend line, and most of the trading was done above that trend line. But reason why is that moving average is at 124, 123 for the 21-day moving average. I was looking to kind of it to finish above that. That would have formed a green hammer, which is a very bullish thing going forward for the stock price. We actually have at this point we are waiting on news on the vaccine trial. We're waiting on maybe funding from Operation Warp Speed coming. We're waiting on the COVID testing to happen, and then we also have this TA that I'm doing here. Now the other thing is, how do I establish? So now that I kind of showed what the trend that the stock's currently in, how do I establish resistance points? Well, the same way we established the support, we can do that same thing for the resistance. So this would show. So right there, the support right there in the green, you can kind of see that this is what I'm referring to. This green shows that there's support actually there. So you want to go to here. So we need a $1.41 break. So a $1.42 break in order to start seeing momentum up to this $1.75 range. A lot of people won't cover this, so I'll cover it for most of the people here. You can keep following this down though, and kind of follow where your stock needs to go. So go below, you see the support. That support's really nice. So it's at I think it's actually $1.10 right now. And as this line moves up, so will that floor, the uptrend. So we kind of follow this, and we're looking for here. So $1.16, it's just starting to show a red. That's not really recent though. That's about 5 days old. It broke that by closing at the 120 range. One of the things to look at as well is if you have the 8-day moving average on here. Typically, you want 2 closes above the 8-day moving average, 2 closes above the 21-day moving average. It's really nice for continued uptrend. So you go in here, yeah. So you see at 120, there's a whole bunch of resistance here. Then you keep going, and you want to follow this. So there's this down line here, or the support level line here, and then you just want to keep going and seeing what you hit. So as you erase these green supports, these green supports are going to start turning into resistance points. So again, same thing as you did with following the bottom. Now you want to follow the tops of the candles, and the bottom of the other one's beginning. So this is going to be an essential break at the 129 point area, and then here I would say it would be another break because you lost a portion of the support, and now you gained it to the resistance. So that's a 135. And I think the last one's 140. Or 142. Yeah, it's 142. You lose another portion over here. So you kind of see there's a lot of resistance here. But it's been trading sideways for so long, it's been waiting for all those moving averages to kind of converge before they diverge. What I really like to show again So RSI, you'll see, is curling up towards 50, which is good. Also, another thing to point out is, oops, wrong one. Another thing to point out is the little upward trend it's going. So it went up. So actually, one of the things I should point out is one a really bullish trend is kind of a ladder formation. So it goes up, kind of stays here, gains some support. You can use this with RSI. Goes across, building up support, ladder. Anything where you can kind of connect, such as this on RSI, that's really nice. If you can kind of establish multiple bottoms, that's pretty good for kind of showing upward trend on it. I don't really use RSI too much anymore. And then ADX, MACD, I covered that before. I'm actually going to switch over to some indicators that I use now more often. So I'm going to use the Ultimate Oscillator. I'll explain it later or in a few seconds. And then the other one I use a lot is full stochastics. So update. And again, I'm just using this to help you guys out, show you this. Show you nice free products that we get online for this stuff. So as I mentioned in the video that I just recently published, this same thing as RSI kind of takes into account multiple variables, which is really nice. And a 30, just same thing as RSI. 30 way oversold, 70 way overbought. But what this also tells you too, so this takes into account the MACD, the full stochastics, and RSI. So it's, like I said, it's a multivariable indicator, and I use it because anything that's below 50 on this indicator, it shows a strong negative downtrend. And then anything that crosses over 50 shows you that break from a negative trend to a positive trend. So you recently saw that it was under, and then it was under 50, and then it broke above 50. You can kind of correlate that to the chart. It was trading about 106. These candles are stuck together a lot, but it was trading about 106, and then it hit, and then it broke above. It broke down a little bit, and then it finished way above. So there's been actually a strong change in the dynamics of the stock. So as you can see here, there's been a nice uptrend on these candles ever since it hit that bottomed out area. And you can follow that to the thing, or you can follow that to the oscillator. I can use this as a vertical line. So point the vertical line there, and a vertical line here, and then you can stitch these together. Like I said, I really like this program. You can even set horizontal lines if you choose to. If you want to, say, set a bottom here and see what this is doing. Do that, erase this, and then do a trend line, and then you can take the trend there and follow it up to there. Kind of, now that you follow this, you can see that this shows a positive gain. This shows a positive gain. Now, the reason why I kind of went away from the full stochastics is because this can show negative when it's actually a positive, and positive when it's negative. It's not always true. So for here, you had a positive here, and then it showed the negative, and then it went back positive. So it showed a lot of things going on at once, whereas opposed to the oscillator that I use, it showed the exact same thing, but it's a little bit easier to kind of understand and comprehend. But please, I highly suggest you do not use this unless you absolutely understand and kind of go into using it for a little bit. It can be very difficult. So one of the things I'm also looking at here is PPO. PPO is your MACD crossed with your price average. So you can see how it's, whoops, wrong one. bear with me, guys. This is my first video. You can see how it's positive MACD, goes negative MACD, and now it's looking for that break from a negative to positive trend, which will definitely help it and move upward momentum. And then you got full stochastics. The full stochastics is looking for a divergence here, and that's really bullish going forward. Overall, this chart looks like it's going up, just based on what I've shown you here. And then you have also the news that is potentially coming on here. So for me, I'm looking at particularly, like I showed before, I'm looking for that breakout over 142. So there. Then I am really looking for a 150 break. And my price target here is it's about $2, $2.25. But this has potential for 4 plus. I just recently got a price analyst saying that this is worth $4. I definitely would like that to happen. Try to stay realistic here. This has a lot of reasons to move and break. When you get a lot of this negative momentum and sentiment for a while, and then you start coiling, you do tend to just see these things pop off and rip, kind of like you saw with the other chart that I mentioned, DSS. So this one, a lot of negative momentum. Saw a little bit of a pop, coiled a little bit of a pop, negative momentum, coiled a little bit, pop, and then found a terrible, terrible but necessary bottom, and then kept going up. It had a really nice 10Q news of an underevaluation, and this has been so far negative. It's needed to get back to where its other moving averages were. And this all with the positive news and so much negative momentum that was following it, it popped, and you saw that nice $3 gain. So I'm not looking for a $3 gain here, but with HDBX, I'm looking for that nice break over 150. I think we'll definitely get a lot of people chasing at 175. And then I'm looking for a 225, 225 area. I'm looking to see what it does. Curious to see what it does there. And then I'll take some off the table at 250 area. All right. Thank you guys. I will do so if you post stuff in the swing room. I will definitely review it for you. I'll either tell you what I think in the room itself, or I can go ahead and DM you as well, and I'll tell you what I think. I've been trying to help you guys all out, and making these videos will be really helpful in the future. I saw the poll that I posted recently, and a lot of people were having issues with TAing and other things, entry points. I'll do entry points later on when I have a little bit more free time, but that's just doing this here. Thank you guys, and enjoy your night.